Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. What does food mean to you? Tell me in a recorded soundbite of no longer than 60 seconds. Post on social media with hashtag The Maria Liberati Show, or email it to me at maria@marialiberati.com, or post a 50-word or less post on social media, hashtag The Maria Liberati Show. And if your soundbite or social media post is selected to be part of an upcoming podcast, I'll send an autographed copy of my book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, to you. I love having my listeners be part of the show, so come on and join in. Well, summer is dwindling down to its last final hurrah as I record this episode, and I wanted to share my memoirs and a recipe from my Gourmand World Award-winning cookbook series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. It's a story from my diary about a summer trip to the little town of Fiumicino, where the principal airport of Rome, Italy is. But more importantly, it's a place where you can find a scrumptious dish called Fritto Misto. That's fresh seafood that is lightly breaded, fried quickly, and served in a brown paper cone. If you thought that the only thing in the little town of Fiumicino is the airport, you are definitely mistaken. I called this story Fritto Misto and a Visit to Fiumicino, where food meets architecture and la dolce vita. An unexpected 4-hour flight delay that turned into a bonus side trip of old world scenery and flavors was just what I needed before I left the eternal city. The Roman sun was shining brightly, people were hurrying to the beach. Why, oh why did I have to leave? Our group of 4 included an Italian architect who is always up to finding the old world charm and beauty that still exists amid the modern shopping centers and malls. And find we did. Not far from the airport of Fiumicino is the little old town of Fiumicino. After locating a parking space in front of the fishermen fixing their nets in preparation for the day's catch, we quickly search for a coffee bar for the perfect cappuccino. Not all cappuccinos are equal, and to really savor the best wake-up experience, you must know which coffee is the perfect one. The brand is usually advertised on the door of the coffee bar, and I do have my favorite brand, which will remain anonymous. But walking up and down the little town, sun shining, boats of the fishermen in view, I finally found the brand I was looking for on Via della Spiaggia at Ristorante Portis, a coffee bar that is also a tiny restaurant. Once awake, we rushed to 2 of the most famous restaurants in town. These restaurants are known, of course, for their fresh fish dishes delivered daily by the local fishermen, in hopes that we could grab a quick lunch before the flight. Ristorante Bastianelli and Zepina have been around since the 1920s and have become historic landmarks here. Unfortunately, both would not be open till 1 p.m., so we would have to wait till next time. Fiumicino's old original town is quaint and close to the beach and port. Once stalls of fresh fish line the streets. A large fresh produce and fish market still remains, as well as many takeaway places where you can buy fresh seafood dishes like Fritto Misto, which is mixed seafood, breaded lightly, fried, and served in a brown paper cone. We were able to get a cone of Fritto Misto to fortify us for the journey. Regarding architecture, the town hall of Fiumicino is an incredible mix of old world and modern. The building includes a piazza, but in the form of a modern trapezoid with variable elevations that offer an unusual changing view of the surrounding river and sea. Since piazzas are typically places where people can meet, a cafe or a coffee bar is at mid-level of the trapezoid. But it also includes places where people can sit down and relax and take in a bit of la dolce vita by the sea. So here's an easy recipe to create your own Fritto Misto. 1 pound of fresh calamari cleaned, 1 pound of firm-fleshed fresh fish cut into uniform pieces, 3/4 pound of shrimp shelled and cleaned, 3/4 cup of peanut or sunflower oil for frying, 2½ cups of flour, a pinch of salt. Clean the seafood. Place the flour in a large plastic bag. Put the seafood in a bag, seal it, and toss it until the seafood is coated. Remove from the bag and shake off the excess flour. Heat the oil in a deep frying pan for about 3 to 4 minutes. Fry the seafood till golden brown. Remove with a slotted spoon and let drain on brown paper to absorb the excess oil. And if you'd like to be really authentic, make a cone shape out of your brown paper. Place the seafood inside. Serve with a garnish of fresh parsley and lemon slices. What could be a more perfect dessert than a lemon torte using fresh summer lemons? This recipe is from my book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Holidays and Special Occasions, 2nd edition. This recipe is for 6 to 8 people, and the ingredients are 2 cups of sifted flour, 1½ cups of sugar, 4 fresh lemons, a half a cup of unsalted butter, 1 cup of warm milk, 4 eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 6 fresh lemon slices, 1 cup of candied fruit, 6 maraschino cherries. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Melt butter in the saucepan and set aside to let it cool. Juice 4 lemons into a small bowl, set aside. Grate the peels of 4 lemons, set aside. Cut candied fruit into small cubes, set aside. Separate the eggs into 2 bowls. With a hand mixer, whip the egg yolks together with sugar until well blended and creamy. Add the lemon peel and lemon juice a little at a time to the egg yolk mixture while blending in. Add in sifted flour, 1/4 cup at a time, blending in after each addition. Add in warm milk and melted butter, again a little bit at a time, and blend well. Beat the egg whites till the peaks have formed. Fold the egg whites into the egg yolk mixture. Add in baking powder, candied fruits, and vanilla. You can butter and flour the cake pan or cover it with parchment paper, which is my favorite way to cover a cake pan. Bake in a preheated oven for 40 minutes. Remove the cake from the oven and let it cool. Now, if you coated the pan with parchment paper, you can just lift the parchment paper up to remove the cake from the pan. Place on a serving dish and decorate with lemon slices and maraschino cherries and serve. Thanks for joining and listening to The Maria Liberati Show. If you want to show off your food style and create any of the recipes that were on this segment, the Fritto Misto and the lemon torte, take a picture of your homemade creation, hashtag The Maria Liberati Show, and post it on social media. We'll be gathering pictures and posting it on my website. Thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle. Go to my website, marialiberati.com, to keep up with my blog and the show and my book series, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. Don't forget to post your answer to the question, what does food mean to you, in a recorded soundbite of 60 seconds or less, or a social media post of 50 words or less. Hashtag it The Maria Liberati Show and post on social media. If your answers are selected for an upcoming podcast segment, you'll receive an autographed copy of my book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking. And join me on Twitter at Maria Liberati, that's with a capital M, on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati and Maria Liberati, and on Instagram at chef_Maria Liberati and Maria Liberati, and LinkedIn at Maria Liberati. I love to hear from my listeners and have you be part of my show. So if you have any questions or ideas for upcoming segments, email me directly at maria@marialiberati.com. Until next time, peace, love, and pasta.